Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to talk about a problem that, well, pretty much every successful business leader hits sooner or later. You hit a ceiling. How do you keep growing your company when you're already completely maxed out? Well, we're about to break down a really clear, actionable guide for some smarter growth.
So let's just start with this, because I think it captures a feeling so many of us know all too well. You're up there on that tightrope, right? You're trying to balance the big picture strategy on one side and all your client relationships on the other, but the whole time, the sheer weight of daily tasks is trying to pull you right off. It is a really precarious and, let's be honest, an exhausting place to be.
Yeah, if that whole tightrope thing feels a little too real, look, you are definitely not alone. That feeling of being swamped, it's not a sign that you're failing. It's actually a sign that you've outgrown your current way of doing things. It's a huge signal that something fundamental has to change.
Okay, so let's actually give this thing a name. The partner's dilemma. It's the ultimate paradox when you think about it, isn't it? The very same people who are driving the firm's success, the partners, they accidentally become the single biggest bottleneck to its future growth. So how on earth does that happen?
I mean, just take a look at your own calendar. Does any of this sound familiar? Your whole day just disappears into routine tasks. You're the one who always has to handle the last-minute fire drills. You're reviewing the same low-stakes work over and over and over again. This isn't just being busy. This is a vicious cycle that is putting a hard cap on your firm's potential.
So what's the escape hatch here? I'll tell you what it's not. It's not about working harder or trying to find some magical 25th hour in the day. The real answer lies in a complete shift in how you think about your work.
And this, right here, this is the pivot. It's the whole ballgame. The old way is a total dead end. It's just more hours, which leads to burnout, which leads to stagnation. The new way is all about leverage. It's about using smart delegation to free up your mind and your time for the stuff that actually matters. You know, sustainable growth.
And this is the big idea, really. We're talking about strategically delegating the right kind of work to a dedicated offshore team. This lets you systematically clear your plate of all those time-sucking, repetitive tasks. This isn't just about getting rid of work, it's about freeing yourself up for the high-impact stuff that only you can do.
So what kind of work are we talking about? Well, this is the perfect list. Think about things like bookkeeping, payroll, tax prep, audit work papers. These jobs are absolutely critical, right? But they're also repeatable and process-driven. They are the perfect candidates to hand over to a skilled, dedicated team, which lets you point your focus somewhere else.
But look, you can't just throw tasks over the wall and hope for the best, right? It just doesn't work like that. To make this really successful, you need a solid framework. So let's look at the two essential pillars that make this whole thing work.
Pillar number one is all about standardization. And really, what that means is creating consistent documented processes, checklists, clear workflows, you name it. This is what allows anyone on the team, whether they're in your office or halfway around the world, to do the work reliably and to your exact standards, without you having to constantly look over their shoulder.
And the second key piece, a really strong back office. Think of it as the central nervous system for your firm. When you have this in place, workflows become predictable. Those last-minute emergencies practically disappear, and you get this incredible peace of mind knowing that the engine of your business is just running smoothly, whether you're directly involved or not.
All right, let's just get to the elephant in the room, shall we? What about quality? This is always the big question, and it's a completely valid one. You've spent years building your reputation on the quality of your work, so the idea of handing that off can feel, well, terrifying. But a really well-designed system actually protects your quality.
And here's the absolute key takeaway. You are not losing control. A great offshore partner works inside your existing systems. They learn your protocols, they follow your review standards, and they stick to your quality benchmarks. You're not outsourcing control, you're just extending your capacity.
Okay, so that's the why. Now let's get into the how. Let's get really practical here. Here is a simple 5-step playbook you can start using to implement this exact strategy in your own firm.
So if you follow these 5 steps, you can see how it completely changes your role. It's a journey, right? It takes you from being the doer of everything to the reviewer and finally to the strategist. By delegating the routine stuff, standardizing your processes, and using technology, you literally create this space to focus on what truly grows the business.
And when you nail this framework, oh man, the payoff is just huge. And I'm not just talking about having a cleaner to-do list or feeling a little less stressed. The benefits are way, way bigger than that.
I mean, look at these results. These are real things that happen. Your own satisfaction with your job goes through the roof because you're finally doing high-impact work. Burnout just plummets. Your clients get better, more consistent service.
And here's the kicker. You finally gain the capacity to take on new clients and actually grow without the whole system breaking.
So if there's one thing you write down from this whole explainer, let it be this formula. It's simple, but it's so powerful. Smart outsourcing, plus standardized processes, plus a strong back office. That equals scalable growth. That's the engine. That's what lets you grow your firm's capacity without also growing your personal stress levels.
And you know, this really brings us full circle, back to that core idea. Real sustainable growth isn't about grinding out longer and longer hours. It's about smarter delegation. The most successful firms out there grow not by outworking everyone, but by being absolutely relentless about where they invest their most valuable resource, their time.
So, I want to leave you with this one question. This isn't just about what tasks you can get off your plate. It's about what you could build, what you could create, what you could achieve with all of that reclaimed time and energy. What does that next level of growth actually look like for your firm once you are no longer the bottleneck?